Hello everyone, and welcome to the Bristol Motor Speedway for the 6th race of our 2002 NR2003 seasons. We are green and underway. Kurt Busch gets a huge jump off the pole and gets multiple car lengths ahead of Jimmy Spencer into turn 1. What a start for Kurt Busch. He goes flying into the lead. And oh, behind us there's already contact. Rusty Wallace, Craven, and Kent is crashing into the wall. We already got trouble on lap 1. Jimmy Johnson's involved. Big stack up back here. Terry Labonte, Jeff Gordon is damaged. Michael Waltrip, Robbie Gordon, Scott Wimmer collected. A huge crash here the opening lap as Kenseth, Rusty Wallace, Ricky Craven go crashing. Jimmy Johnson and the whole field back here have nowhere to go. Pile right in, being too aggressive too early here at Bristol, causing absolute mayhem. There's a 3-wide squeeze, and they just got turned up in the outside wall. Big hit for Matt Kenseth and Jimmy Johnson, nowhere to go. But look at all the damage back here, all the guys centered. Jeff Gordon, of course, big damage. Steve Park. Elliott Sadler almost flips over Scott Wimmer, but a huge wreck to start this race here at Bristol, making sure everyone can make it back to the line. As we look down the backstretch of Jerry Nadeau, whoa, something must have happened to Nadeau. He just came from the inside pit wall, and indeed something did happen. Coming out of turn 2, Kevin Harvick hooks Jerry Nadeau and turns him and sends him crashing to the back bumper into the inside pit wall. He is fine, but they caution out. Kurt Busch leads here on lap 11. Kurt Busch continues to lead. He laps Jerry Nadeau over Dale Earnhardt Jr., who almost wrecks there. 3 wide behind them back there with Mike Skinner. And oh, where the wall he goes with Kenseth and Jimmy Spencer. I knew that was going to happen. They fence it, and Kenseth's going to keep wall riding all the way until he turns Johnny Benson around. And contact, and oh, big hit. Ricky Rudd upside down. He gets flipped over by Dale Jarrett, and the rest of the pack piles in. Brett Bodine, Terry Labonte also involved. Dave Blaney gets damaged. Buckshot Jones. But a huge incident here. Kenseth goes in the wall rides, and then takes out Johnny Benson. And that causes a whole huge incident. This all started down the backstretch when Mike Skinner cleared himself on Jimmy Spencer, which put Kenseth in the wall hard. Then Kenseth decided to Hail Melon wall ride all the way through 3 and 4. And then Johnny Benson slides right up into him, wipes them both out. And here comes Ricky Rudd. Bang! Jarrett sends him upside down. A huge hit. Then Jeff Burton gets hit hard by Sadler and Dave Blaiswell. Big contact. Another multi-car incident here at Bristol. What a chaotic start to this race. Shades of what we saw last episode in Darlington. Absolute mayhem breaking out here as your race leader, as they all have to navigate the cars here, is Kurt Busch. Oh, Kurt Busch is now wrecked. Jeff Green was in the air. Brett Bodine hit Kurt Busch head on. We are catching the very end of this incident here on lap 17. On lap 18, we catch a very Kurt Busch is wrecked. Huge damage. Jeff Green is upside down, flipping. What in the world happened here? My God. And then Brett Bodine, like an idiot, absolutely T-bones Kurt Busch, head-on hits, and then Jeff Burton slams into him. That's going to knock all 4 of these guys out of the race. Hard hits that just continues to destroy Roush Racing today as the chaos continues in Bristol. Now, John Andretti leads here on the last lap of Stage 1. We'll cut to lap 105 here, last lap of Stage 1. John Andretti leads the way. He's lapped Kevin Harvick. He has a comfortable lead over second. We toss the yellow command here. John Andretti wins Stage 1 in Bristol, followed by Kenny Schrader, Ward Burton, Bobby Labonte in the 18. Jeremy Mayfield, Sterling Marlin, Bobby Hamilton, the 4, Ryan Newman, and Jimmy Spencer, and Mike Wallace, your top 10. So John Andretti wins Stage 1 at Bristol, and now we move on to the back of the way here in Stage 2 in lap 111. Andretti leading, trying to put Jimmy Spencer back 1 lap down. They're already making 3-wide moves behind him. 3-wide here at Bristol. This does not work. And oh, bouncing off the wall. Bobby Hamilton sends Skinner. What a save. Skinner saves it from wrecking. Unbelievable. Now Ward Burton's going to turn your leader, John Andretti. Around he goes. Into Atwood. He's wrecking. Harvick is involved. In the back up the track they go. Newman's wrecking up there. Multiple more cars crashing. Newman, Atwood, Bobby Hamilton damaged. And another huge crash here at Bristol. Starts right up front with your leaders. Unbelievable. John Andretti gets turned around by Schrader and cleans out Casey Atwood and Kevin Harvick, and Ryan Newman instantly gets collected, as well as Bobby Hamilton and Sterling Marlin collect some damage. But what a wild start to the day here in Bristol. Ward Burton hooks the 43 Venturi right down to Atwood, takes out Harvick, and that takes out a good chunk of cars back here damaged. But most of them will still be in the race, but another crash here in Bristol, turning into a Wreckfest demo derby here in Bristol. We've seen cars flip upside down. We've seen the leaders now just get turned by second place and cause another big incident. John Andretti, you hate it for him. He had such a good run going for that Petty team. I mean, him and Kyle Petty have been on fire these last couple of weeks with some very good runs, very good speed, leading laps. But it doesn't seem to be John Andretti's day today, as Ward Burton, who is the one who caused this incident, will lead the field to the caution flag. Now we get back underway with Kenny Schrader in the lead on lap 118. Well, I mean, with only 24 cars left in the race, this is getting out of hand. Schrader leads. Got Kenny Wallace back here. There's trouble here with Jeremy Mayfield. He gets turned around and we're under caution again. Ryan, and he gets slammed by the Dale Earnhardt Jr. is upside down. Jeremy Mayfield slammed into Bobby Hamilton, and Jr. comes sliding up and over. It looks like Jimmy Spencer turns Dale Jr. into Jimmy Johnson. Into the wall they go. Jr. goes up and over down the back stretch, and he starts rolling. Jimmy Johnson just spins. And, of course, Mayfield slides at the racetrack where Bobby Hamilton has nowhere to go and T-bones him as he goes right up the racetrack, goes boom, hits him hard. And, then, of course, here comes Jr. sliding into frame upside down. This is an unbelievable. This is the craziest Bristol race I've ever seen. See right here, just Mike Wallace. No, is that Bill Elliott turns his own teammate of Mayfield, and of course, boom, Bobby Hamilton. Here comes Junior sliding up and over. He eventually lands on all fours here on the apron, but a wild turn of events here in Bristol. You get a final look at the flip here. Spencer clears himself on Junior and just sends Junior upside down, crashing hard, barrel rolling into turn 3. And more cars destroyed. Jimmy Johnson will be able to continue, as will Mayfield, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. is done, as is Bobby Hamilton. As Kenny Schrader leads the race, back underway in lap 123. Of course, 2 less cars in the race now as we continue to whittle down the cars left in the field now. Schrader in the lead. You got a bunch of cars back here. Who's going to wreck this time? Has this been the theme? 3 wide back there. Tabadine, Jimmy Johnson, Robbie Gordon. They sort it out. Everyone gets back under. 3 wide again. Robbie Gordon back on the inside of Johnson and Kyle Petty here. There goes Rusty Wallace into the wall. He gets turned by Bill Elliott and collects Dave Blaney. And the caution is out once again. I have no words for what's happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is just mayhem. Bill Elliott just turns Rusty Wallace right around into Sterling Marlin, who gets more damage. And then, of course, Dave Blaney gets a little bit of clip up there by Jeremy Mayfield. Kyle Petty, great job checking up. Bill Elliott and Robbie Gordon almost wreck afterwards. Trying to race back to the line to the caution flag. Through right again. Harvick almost puts himself on the wall. He does put himself on the wall with Mayfield. There goes Robbie Gordon. Around he goes. He gets turned by his own teammate Kevin Harvick in the 29. And Ryan Newman's wrecking now. Unbelievable. What is happening in Bristol? Schrader just completely dumps Ryan Newman into the outside wall in frustration. Mike Wallace and Casey Atwood get little bits of damage here. Oh my God. I can't believe this, people. Now John Andretti is back in the lead after wrecking a few cautions ago here on lap 131 over Bobby Labonte and Jimmy Spencer. And there goes Mike Wallace. He goes spinning with Elliott Souther to the inside wall. And another spin here at Bristol. The whole field has the spins today. My goodness. They cannot keep themselves from wrecking. 23 gets hooked right down into Elliott Souther and into the inside wall. They both go. No caution called, surprisingly. We stay green, and we're going to let the field sort it out themselves here. It's back at the front here, but now we're going to look at the mid-pack here where Schrader and Ward Burton. Terry Labonte's going to merge back onto the racetrack. Watch out, Ward Burton and Kevin Harvick. Contact. Hang on to it. Harvick's going to get squeezed into the wall. My goodness, what a save. How they are. Terry Labonte's coming back down pit road again. He's like 50 laps down. He just is basically making the rounds on pit road every lap. Now Newman, 3 wide with Rusty Wallace, and Mayfield around goes Rusty Wallace. He gets turned into Ryan Newman, and now the caution will come out. It's going to happen eventually, ladies and gentlemen. There it went. John Andretti leads. Now Ward Burton is back in the lead on the restart here on lap 138 as we continue to try to get through this race. All these cautions, once again, a little bit of squeeze back here. Johnson almost in a 3-wide situation. Nadeau, Spencer, and Andretti going to be squeezing each other into 3 and 4 here. That is dangerous. They make it through. And Jimmy Johnson turns the 90. Into the wall goes Rick Mast, and Kyle Petty turns Harvick as well. And a multi-car crash strikes again in Bristol. John Andretti, Kenny Schrader, Rick Mast, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Petty, and Jimmy Johnson are involved. That is a 6-car crash here at Bristol. See what happens here is, I believe what happens is Jimmy Johnson hooks Rick Mast up into Kyle Petty, which sends him into Harvick, and Rick Mast goes up into Schrader, and then Andretti piles in with nowhere to go at the back end of that incident. And the crashes, they just keep coming, people. Unbelievable what is happening in this race. It has been a demo derby of sorts. As your race leader is Ward Burton. Now Tony Stewart gets up into the lead here on lap 147. As we continue to push through stage 2, which has obviously been the most chaotic stage yet. As side by side, well, 3 wide, 4 wide back here. Watch out. Jimmy Johnson, Rick Mast, Kevin Harvick were 3 wide. A little bit of a squeeze of the corner. Johnson into the wall. He saves it. Oh my goodness, and he's still in the wall. What a save by Jimmy Johnson. He avoids completely wrecking that car by keeping it in the wall. But my goodness, it keeps going. The endless madness, mayhem, whatever, it keeps happening. As Tony Stewart continues to lead and looks to pull away with the lead here in Bristol. Can we finally go a restart without having to have a caution right off the bat? Oh, and never mind. Rusty Wallace is upside down. Contact with Ryan Newman. You know, just when you think you're set, they keep wrecking and they keep bringing out the cautions, ladies and gentlemen. This time it's the 2 Penske teammates. As what happens here is Ryan Newman slides into Sterling Marlin, gets himself loose, turns Rusty Wallace into the wall hard, and that turns Rusty upside down right here. And Rusty Wallace flips over twice, then lands back on his wheels. But a hard crash for Rusty Wallace. And now the pack's got to race back to the line. Jimmy Spencer almost pulling a 4 wide in the apron, passing John Andretti as they continue to be extremely aggressive. As Tony Stewart leads, and now Kenny Wallace in the 33 leads in the leading here at Bristol late in stage 2 over Kyle Petty, who's going slow there. Bobby Labonte goes right by him. Whole inside lane gets stacked up. Schrader 3 wide with Stewart and Mike Wallace. Oh, there goes Newman and into Mike Wallace hard, and they crash again. Newman gets spun, and Mike Wallace, nowhere to go, piles right into him. Unbelievable. 29 to Harvick, he just hooks Newman, simple as it gets. And Mike Wallace, don't know why he turned back in the 12. He could have avoided him, but regardless, both guys are destroyed. Their days are over. Especially the 23. The 12 might still be in it, but the 23 Mike Wallace, he will be going to the garage. Bobby Labonte has taken the lead now at Bristol, and now we're going to move on here to lap 1, whatever, somewhere in the 100s, late 100s. Bobby Labonte leads over Kenny Wallace, Kyle Petty, the top 3. Robbie Gordon runs in 4th. It has just been a... Oh, and Ward Burton's around. I got no words, people. No words. I don't know what's happening anymore, people. I really don't. Every restart, someone's crashing. Eventually, when it'll be whittled down to enough cars so the cautions will stop coming out. No caution, by the way. Bobby Labonte continues to lead Kenny Wallace and Kyle Petty. Oh, there goes Ryan Newman. And Newman gets junked again. This is like the 5th wreck Ryan Newman has been involved in today. This time the rookie gets put in the wall by Stewart and then junked by Dave Blaney down the front stretch. Still no caution as we continue on racing. At this point, NASCAR's just like, boys, have at it. At this point, and now Kenny Schrader goes on the apron trying to make a pass. It doesn't work for him, but back at the front it is Bobby Labonte leading the Food City 500 at Bristol. And now we move on to the last lap of stage 2 here. Kyle Petty wins stage 2 at Bristol, followed by Kenny Wallace in 2nd, Tony Stewart 3rd, John Andretti 4th. Jimmy Spencer will take 5th. 6th will be Jimmy Johnson, then Kenny Schrader, Sterling Marlin, Dave Blaney, and Bill Elliott, the top 10. And I'm on to the 2 laps to go in Bristol for Tony Stewart in the 20, who has now gotten in the lead and driven away from the rest of the field as he passed both Kyle Petty and Jimmy Spencer. Had a pretty solid grip on the lead up to this point. Stewart gets around him and is off to get his first win of the season. Can he finally close the deal this season? White flag, final lap, so I couldn't want bank for Tony Stewart here at Bristol. As Tony Stewart looks to get his first win of this season. Of course, he ended 2001 red hot, but here in 2002, he has not quite gotten to victory lane, but he's had the speed. Now coming out of the final corner for the final time, Tony Stewart wins in Bristol. Your runner-up is going to be Kyle Petty. What a run for him. 3rd place going to be Jimmy Spencer. 4th is going to be John Andretti. A double top 5 for Petty. Kenny Wallace 5th. Dave Blaney comes home in 6th. And then Kenny Schrader, Jimmy Johnson, Ward Burton, and Sterling Marlin in your top 10 as Tony Stewart gets his first win of 2002 at the Bristol Motor Speedway in a demolition derby. You'll see the race results on the left side of your screen, and you'll see the updated playoff grid shortly. And now you see the updated playoff grid. Of course, Tony Stewart slots in second now, the highest driver with 1 win on the season. He joins Michael Waltrip, Matt Kenseth, Jimmy Johnson, and Ricky Rudd into the playoffs. Rusty Wallace, Kurt Busch, Sterling Marlin, Kenny Schrader, Robbie Gordon, and Ward Burton are comfortably in on points right now. Dale Jarrett still double digits to the good, but then it's tight around Jeff Green, Kenny Wallace, Ryan Newman, Terry Labonte, the last 4 in. And the first 5 out are Kyle Petty, who has charged into 17th, and then John Andretti, who's also charged up to 18th, and Elliott Sadler in 19th, Mike Skinner in 20th, and Jeff Gordon in 21st. So until the next episode, I hope you all have a good one.